What up, peeps? GabeFlowers. I am coming to do a tag video today. My girl Onye, aka Cynthia17US, did a tag, True Life, I'm a Weave-A-Holic. And I was looking at it like, oh, this is awesome. And then I saw that she tagged me. So, even better. I'm about to, about to let y'all in on a few things about your girl and her hair. Because y'all know I love my hair. So, I also figured I'd do it up for this video. So, the bigger the better. So let's start. First question. It's sad because I've been wearing a weave for so long that I honestly don't remember the first time I wore hair. I think it was either, let me think about this. I honestly think that it was my freshman year in college. I don't think I wore any before I got to college, but it had to be my freshman year in college. At some point, I had some pieces in my hair for thickness or something like that. That would have been my first time. I decided to wear weaves because I went through this thing, like my freshman year. It was my freshman year or my sophomore year. I think it was my freshman year of college. I went through this thing. I had never been a weave wearer or anything. And then my hair started to thin out. My grandmother was my beautician. So she was like, well, we can put some pieces in it and just kind of thicken it up. So she bonded a few tracks in there, here and there. And I think I wore that for like a special occasion or something. This might have been my sophomore year in college. I'm a little screwy on the dates. Maybe I think it was my sophomore year in college now that I think about it. So then I had a bad experience with the perm. Bad experience with a perm, and all my hair came out. Like chunks of hair falling out when I was giving myself a perm, and I think I left it in too long, or I don't know, whatever. User error probably, and then I was also dieting at the time, so I thought at the time that the diet was what was doing it, but now that I think back on it, it might have been a user error. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. That's neither here nor there. So whatever the case was, I had a bad experience with the perm. So all my hair came out, and it wasn't right off top. It was kind of gradual. Like I lost a lot rinsing the perm out, but it was mostly like in the back area of my hair. So I was able to kind of conceal it and, you know, wear like braid outs and stuff like that with my hair to kind of make it a little fuller. And then it got worse and worse, and it started inching its way up. So my grandmother ended up having to cut all my hair off. I had like the Monica, just one of them days, short haircuts, and I hated it. Like I don't even think I have one picture with my hair like that because I couldn't stand short hair. So that's where I started to wear weaves, and I started off with micros. So like for that whole summer, excuse me, into like the first semester of the next year, which I believe was my junior year in college, I wore micros, and I wore micros until my hair grew out where I was comfortable enough to wear it. So then I had short hair, and then I was fine. So then I didn't wear weave anymore until like my senior year in college. I remember right before graduation, I wanted some hair. I wanted longer hair, so I did my own weave. I bonded some tracks in, wore that, and from then on, after I graduated, I moved to Los Angeles, and I lived in LA, and I wore weaves like constantly. That's when I really became like a weave addict. It was when I moved to LA. It was like I just had to keep up, and you know, everybody had pieces, so I was like, well, I'm not wearing my hair, you know, this is not gonna work for me. So it was no turning back after that. Anyway, next question. My first experience with weave, when I had those pieces bonded in, it wasn't bad. You know, my grandmother put it in. She took it out. I was not doing my hair at the time. At the time, I was very illiterate about doing my own hair. So I would go to the shop and get it done. It wasn't an issue. I never washed it. I never did any of that. I just went and got it done, so it wasn't a problem with me. Yeah, it was cool. It was different because I was always the type that didn't like to wear weave. You know, I was all anti-weave at first, but it wasn't bad. The first experience wasn't bad at all. Now I'm a good old pro. Yeah, I feel comfortable without my weave. I would say within the last year, I feel more comfortable without it now since switching to natural. Like, this is the first time in my life where I am okay wearing this or wearing my natural hair out. It took me a while to get there, but after years and years and years of wearing weaves, I'm talking like 5 years of wearing weaves straight, and then wearing my hair. I went through this phase for 1 year where I wore my hair, and I just, only because my boyfriend at the time did not like me in weave, so I, was trying to be the girlfriend that, cares about what her boyfriend thinks, and so I didn't wear weave for a whole year, and oh my god, that was, it was alright, but I missed it. So then once I got it back, it was like, it's what it is. So yeah, now I'm fully comfortable without wearing the weave. If I feel like changing it up, then I wear it. So whatever. Speaking of significant others, it takes us to the next question. My honey doesn't care. He loves whatever I have on, and I'm so grateful that he feels that way, because I have experienced it when it's been the other way around. And I listen to women now and they're like, oh, my boyfriend doesn't like this, or oh please honey, if I was bald, he'd love me. If I had this, he'd love me. If I had dreads, he'd probably love me. Like, he doesn't care. He likes my natural hair. The first time he had seen it straightened out was the first time I had seen it straightened out in my last video. And he loved it. Like, he loves my natural hair, but he loves me. So whatever my hair is doing is just an addition to, it's an enhancement. So he doesn't really care. Long story short. Next question. Come on, I would choose my baby. I can always put the weave back on. The weave can take a break. I can wear my hair. I choose my honey. Definitely choose my honey. Next question. Yeah. Please believe your girl does not go out looking crazy. So if my hair is not right, whether it's mine or whether it's weave, I'm staying in the house, or I may get there super late if I gotta make my hair right before I leave the house. I'm just not, I don't like ponytails. I'm not a hat person really like that. I might wear hats for fashion, but no. Your girl's hair always has to be done. Woo! Too much money. How about that? I would say in one sitting, the most I've ever paid for hair was right at about $500 for the hair. Now, if you want to include the install that I had to pay for once I got the hair, then take it up to about $700. But for hair alone, I haven't spent more than $500. And yeah, it gets to be a little serious. If you've been a subscriber for any amount of time of mine, hopefully you've gone through and looked at some of my older videos, but I actually made a video about this, and it's called The Absolute Worst Sew-In Ever. I will actually put a link right here down to the video. Once you're finished, click it. I'll put a link down in the description box too. So once you finish watching this video, you can link to and look at that video. But it was such a hot mess. My first time having it wasn't even my first time. My second time having a full sew-in with the closure. And she was not familiar. This time it was a lace front closure. And she was not familiar with how to do those. And I was trying to get her to sew it down. I was trying to get her to sew it down so that I didn't have to wear, so I didn't have to glue it down, but she didn't know, and it was such a hot mess, and I ended up looking like a cone head. Like, just watch the video. Oh, it was horrible. So yeah, it was a wrap, and she never seen or heard from me ever again. Yeah, next question. Let's see, Philly Diva, Miss Shonda, April, aka Muffins is My Lovers. Let's see who else. Patricia from the Natural Hair Growth Show, also known as Brit Pop Princess. There are so many other ones. I'm kind of drawing a blank. Makeup Doll, All Things Fabulous 101. I mean, I can go on forever. Songbird Diva for Life. Come on. So anyway, those are some of my favorites, but there are very many more. I'm sure I left out some. And there you have it. This will be the conclusion of my tag. There's one more additional part, which I think is just to show some pictures. So stay tuned for some pics of some of the weaves that I've had throughout the years. I am tagging everybody, all of my subscribers. I would love to hear your stories. So make a video and tag it as a video response to this one. And alright, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.